Mind's made up and we're ready to go home. So the first reason is, I believe in you. I believe in every person in this room. I believe that they know how to spend their money better than the federal government. I think the federal government is getting big, it's bloated, it's expanding, and it's not slowing down. And somebody has to say, stop the music. What's going on? And some of the candidates just want to slow down that rate of growth, which I think is wonderful. But you know what's even better? Cutting. And it takes a tough person to stand up to all the pressures and the lobbyists and actually do the cutting. And Ron Paul is that person. Personally, I'm on my school board, and I can tell you the Department of Education in Washington does not help. It hurts. We spend half our time filling out bureaucracies. We spend half our time figuring out this Common Core federal standards, buying new textbooks, the business of education. It needs to stop, and that's just one example of many of the unintended consequences of the federal government getting into our lives. We should teach our own kids. The reason why I think everybody here should support Ron Paul is because he's vehemently pro-life. I know a lot of people stay away from the social issues, but I have to tell you, I was born about 7 months after my parents got married, and I got a perfect 800 on my SAT. I was very close to being aborted, I think. And there are a lot of people like that out there. And I think that we need to stand up and say we need to protect those rights. Dr. Paul is a doctor. He's a baby doctor. He's delivered over 4,000 babies. He cares. He's not going to give it lip service or compromise. He's not going to give fungible money to Planned Parenthood and let them spend it in some other place. He's going to make sure he stops. As a doctor, I think he knows a lot more about the healthcare system than most of the other bureaucrats that have never created a job in their life. He's had a private practice and a small business. He knows the paperwork hassles, the bureaucracy, the regulations, the taxation, all the headaches we go through with small business owners. I think that puts him in a great position to cheerlead for us, the small guys down here at the local level, trying to run our business and get on with our lives. So that's the second reason. Now the third reason is I see a lot of friendly faces in here that I've seen over the last 4 or 5 years. And I also see a lot of new faces. And I think the Republican Party in this state and across the country needs to expand. I think we're shrinking. I think it could be considered a country club or a membership club. We need to grow. We have sign-making parties for Ron Paul in my building in Worcester. And I'll tell you what, some of the people who show up are Jose, Na, Nin, Chen, tons of minorities, people who have never been interested in politics, let alone the Republican Party. And we've got a choice to make. We can either tell them, not welcome, we know exactly what we're doing, stay out. Or we can say, you know what, we want to listen, we want to work with you, we want to build on your ideas, and we want to help grow this party across the state, across the country, and get more people like Shauna elected and Kaiko and the rest of them. That's what we can do if we're willing to listen and work together. Scott Brown, Lou Evangelitis, they're going to have tough runs. A lot of people are. And the more we can get Ron Paul people who we just don't recognize in the party to help us, the better off we're going to be. And as we speak about people we don't recognize, there are some people who aren't here tonight. Military people. Ron Paul has had more donations from the active military than any other candidate. Yeah. He's been over to Balad, he's been over to Afghanistan, he talks to the troops at that level, and he knows there's a lot of support for them overseas, and they really can't say it publicly because it's against the law. But if you really want to look at foreign policy, look at how people vote with their dollar, and they're voting for Ron Paul. Now my bonus point is that there was a recent Rasmussen poll and only 2 candidates were able to compare with Obama and beat Obama. And they're Mitt Romney and they're Ron Paul. He came in second, as many of you know. But did you know he came in second on the Democrat primary too? He's attracting more independents and more Democrats to come over to our side and vote further on the Republican ticket. And I tell you what, if you want to guarantee that Obama is not there for 4 more years, go with Ron Paul. He's a winner.
Yeah! I used to be an independent.
Those of you in the room that aren't Ron Paul fans, and I'm sure there's some, think about why you first got involved with the party. Was it because you wanted to be an R next to your name? Or was it because you had some ideological idea that you wanted to try and push. Go back to that. That's where these people are coming from, the Ron Paul supporters. Embrace them, listen to them, and let's try and move the platform in that direction. He may not win, but if he can get 15%, he can get some influence into the platform, and that's a good thing. And I think that's really about it. But I do have a trivia contest and a prize. Everybody likes a prize. Last week, my sister, who's a doctor, who left the state because doctors don't get paid much because of the medical issues we have in the state with financing. So she's a doctor in Texas now. I went down to visit her, and she lives in Plano, Texas. And so I was looking what to do for a couple days during school vacation week, and I found out the Bureau of Printing and Engraving is in Fort Worth, about 40 minutes away. So I thought it would be fun to go to Fort Worth. And they actually give you a free tour of where they make money. I mean, you see the paper come in, how they print it and everything else. It's really cool. But I bought some enlarged money that they don't make anymore. And so I have a $5,000 bill. Okay? And if somebody can tell me whose face is on the $5,000 bill, they can have it.
Hamilton.
Hayes?
What's his name over there? Madison. Good man.
All right.
Goes for Ron Paul. Thank you.